Welcome to 108 Gate, where we're going to be doing a reading, looking through the lenses of tarot cards, objects, energy reading, whatever comes up. Hope you're well. What have you been up to today? How are you feeling? Where are you watching from? That would be nice to know. So we start off with 7 of coins. It does feel like the darker cards are going to a masculine area. 7 of coins, 10 of cups, 4 of wands, and lovers. We had those 3 coming yesterday. Oh, okay. King of cups is upside down. Something that needs to be expressed, something that wants to be expressed, not being expressed, possibly stuck for situational problem. It feels like, I don't know. Let's have a look. Make sure you can see all those. Okay, got 3 pop outs. We've got the Sun, Queen of Swords, and serpents, 2 serpents. Okay, it's coming in really strong. So when I said yesterday, if you haven't seen yesterday's reading, it does feel like it's following on from yesterday's reading. There was an aspect of the feminine. This can be within yourself as well. If you are not used to doing your internal, inner, feminine, masculine energy alignment, come join us, subscribe, and explore this a little deeper, because it is beneficial. You have people like Carl Gustav Jung, who described things like the anima and animus, which is the internal masculine, feminine. You have the yin yang. You have so many different ways of expressing the polarities of within. Part of it masculine, part of it feminine, part of it dark, part of it light. It's all linked as much as it's separate, if that makes sense. So it's dependent on each other as well as it being independent of each other. Yes, it may sound a bit complicated, but it's not once you start chipping away at it and getting a bit more confident with terminologies or exploring it within yourself, figuring it out. So I highly recommend, if you're not confident with it, to just push a little bit. If you're into self-help, self-development, wanting to improve certain things about yourself, it's definitely an area to explore. Not sure why I'm saying that so much, but there you go. Yeah, so now we've got the Queen of Cups upside down. So this feels like yesterday's reading. Certain things that were perceived by the feminine, perceived by the masculine, the understanding that is actually not the way one perceived is coming to light, is becoming more known, is becoming more apparent. And in that process, the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups are kind of gone upside down, like, I'm not so sure about this. Not that it's not so sure about the direction they're going in or what they want, but it's more so the details in which how one gets there. If someone wants to take this direction to get to the same place, or that direction to get to the same place, things are going to start morphing. I want to say morphing. And if they're not morphing, they're going to be like blending. And if they're not blending, they're going to be separating. So if it's already blended, it's going to start separating. Some things, if they're separated, they're going to start blending. If they're compact and crystallized one way, they may become uncrystallized and crystallized another way. It's a lot of change in a lot of different ways. It's kind of like when you're learning about gas, liquids, solids, things like that. It could be like, and then different kind of rocks. You have sedimentary rock, or you have like igneous rock. You have different rocks. They're all rock, but they're formed in different ways. They move in different ways. They're worn down in different ways. The for example, water, it can be steam, so it becomes a different vapor kind of thing, as opposed to it being solid like ice, or it becomes a liquid and it's water fluid, but it's still water. So the changing of the properties, the changing of the way in which it is, the state of it changes, but it's essentially the same. The state of the humans, the people, the beings experiencing this is changing, but they're essentially the same. I hope that helps. I hope that brings some clarity to interpretation. Wow, I can't get more clear than that. Hangman. I know Hangman isn't really about clarity, but it's clear that it's unclear. I love it. I absolutely love it. You really can't jive and dance with it any other way other than just footloose and fancy free. Here we go again. Realization. The answer is here. Take heed. The answer is here. This is a big part of the nugget. It's a big part of the nut on the bolt. It's the big part of having the correct nut on the correct bolt in the correct place at the correct time. If you, I've said this before in Quantum Energy Alchemy TV. So those of you who are still with me now, really appreciate you being here. Those of you who are new to this channel and haven't worked with me in this context before, welcome to you. So if you have nuts and bolts on a shelf, but the one nut and bolt is put to that point on the shelf, and the other one is put higher up, things that are put on the shelf are going to slide down, but they have to be straight to actually be an effective, efficient shelf, unless you want things sliding off. If you want them sliding off because it's like a ramp thing, that's a different thing altogether. Then you don't want it that way. Function, purpose, detail. How is it sitting together? How is it interacting together? How is it utilising strengths and weaknesses? How is it seeing the truth? How is it not seeing the truth? How is it in denial about things? How is it not in denial? I know it sounds like a lot, but in truth, if you look at the chart at the moment, the astral chart at the moment, we've got a lot going on. And this full moon that's around us right now is a doozy. This energy right now, it doesn't matter if you watch it in a year's time or 2 years' time, this energy is here right now. I intentionally record this video, this reading with this energy. So if there's something you need to revisit, recapture, reevaluate, realign, it does help to have that's why I'm putting the dates on for now, to revisit that energy. What was happening? It's the same kind of concept as if you have a diary. What was I doing on that day? What was it on that day that I was dealing with? What I was focusing on? And then just having a look at it. And then sometimes when you're looking at a diary, past entry or something, it re-jogs your memory with something, or it's like, oh, I remember doing that. And then it kind of gives you something that you've already worked on. As an example, you've already worked on it. You go zipping through the work that you've already done to the conclusion, instead of having to go all the way through the work again. I hope that makes sense too. It sounds very cryptic at the moment, or it could sound very cryptic. If you're following, fantastic, that's great. Right, we're going to get Tarot of the Dream Enchantress. Excellent. That's where it is at the moment. Taking a step, taking a moment, and just looking at things, absorbing, observing. If this would focus, that would be great. Sorry, we will get it there, she says. It's not on a pedestal, but putting self from a higher perspective, a bigger perspective, a greater awareness of something. Still very confident, loving it, So I'm going to leave it there because there's quite a lot to deal with. There's a lot to chew on. You might want to watch it again just to really follow what was being explored there. Love this energy. Very, very beneficial. And I am going to leave those sideways and that upside down because it feels like it's either going to come tomorrow or I may do a bonus reading. If I do a bonus reading, I have a feeling they may be addressed in that. But for now, I'm going to leave that how it is. And for you, thank you very much for being here. Peace and love. Take care.